Today's Metro News television forecast is brought to you by Salango Law. Get results, not excuses.
Welcome in. Got you your latest on a Thursday. Meteorologist Joe Hansel here. Let's have some dry and pleasant conditions out the door today. The forecast ahead, watching some warm to hot temperatures, a warming trend, and some rain and thunderstorm potential at some point for the weekend. Yesterday had a high of 80 in Charleston. That's right at average for the time of the year. And 8 below average for the low at 50. Some patchy dense fog is possible. No highlights for dense fog advisories this time, though, today. Generally sunshine with some warmer temperatures in store for a lot of us today. Fly Sierra forecast, it starts at home. Tampa near 89 today, 91 tomorrow. Chance for a shower on Saturday near 92. From Panhandle to Panhandle, a little bit warmer today. We have highs low to middle 80s. Got some spots up to 87 potentially with plenty of sunglasses sunshine, and lows in the mid-50s to near 60 tonight. Northern areas, there is a potential risk of some isolated severe thunderstorms later at some point on Saturday, along with some heavy rain. So I'll watch potentially some strong to isolated severe weather. Can't rule out hail, damaging winds later Saturday. Out east, we got some 70s to near 90s, so lots of mid to upper 80s for forecasted highs today, a little bit warmer. Mid-50s overnight tonight with some near 60s. From east to west here, highs in the ranks mostly the 70s and lots of 80s in there too. So again, we'll be noticeably warmer today. Low to mid-50s overnight. To the south, highs generally in the ranks of the 80s. Huntington, got you near 87 with your sunshine today. Lows 40s, 50s, and some spots near 60 overnight tonight. In Charleston, high near 87. Lots of sunshine. Sunny to mostly sunny with light winds today. Tomorrow, 89, near 90 on Saturday. Timing late Saturday into Sunday. Showers and storms. Can't rule out some heavy rain, severe weather, and warmer next week, too.
This is Ben Salango with Salango Law. Salango Law has earned a reputation for getting excellent results for our clients. With decades of experience handling thousands of cases, we know what it takes to deliver. Proudly voted best in the Valley for 3 consecutive years by readers of the Charleston Gazette-Mail, Salango Law is deeply committed to giving back by investing in our community. From supporting local programs to making our region a better place to live, Salango Law is proud to be your trusted legal and community partner. Check us out at salangolaw.com.
U.S. Senator Shelley Moore Capito will join us. Hoppy Kercheval in the second hour. Plus, we'll get an update from the high school softball state tournament. This is MetroNews Talkline. We are underway.
Do not attempt to change the station. You are surrounded. We interrupt this program to bring you an emergency news bulletin. Repeat, this is an emergency bulletin. Keep your radio turned on.
From the studios of WVRC Media and the Metro News Radio and Television Network, the voice of West Virginia, comes the most powerful show in West Virginia. This is MetroNews Talkline with Dave Wilson and TJ Meadows.
Check satellite uplink. Activated Telos telephone. Switch network control from Charleston to Morgantown.
Stand by. Q Dave and TJ. You're on. MetroNews Talkline is presented by Encova Insurance, encircling you with coverage to protect what you care about most. Visit Encova.com to learn more.
Good morning, welcome into the program, and welcome inside the Encova Insurance Studios. Dave Wilson of Morgantown, TJ Meadows is in Charleston. Our phone number is 800-765-TALK, 800-765-8255. Text the show, 304-TALK-304. Jake Link is running the video stream. Ethan Collins, our producer this morning, and you are listening in on one of our great radio affiliates across the state of West Virginia. Perhaps you're watching on the Metro News TV app, YouTube Live, Facebook Live as well. Coming up, Hoppy in the second hour, Brian Helton stops by. We'll also talk to State Auditor Mark Hunt in hour number 2. Keeping an eye on a developing situation in Morgantown. Several police units are on the scene of an incident and in Saberton. So Mike Nolting is looking into that. We'll get an update later in the show once we get some more details on that situation. Lots going on. Say good morning, TJ Meadows in Charleston. Good morning, TJ Meadows.
Good morning, Dave Wilson. How are you, sir?
Doing pretty well for a Thursday. Not too bad.
I'm glad to hear it.
We've got my 2 favorite things that have intersected, and we're going to get into that in just a little bit. Sports and politics.
We know which one's first.
Well,
right?
yeah, obviously. Because how chaotic does college athletics have to be for them to want Congress to get involved? Nobody ever wants Congress involved, TJ.
I'm not sure I want them involved even if they're being asked to be involved.
We will get into that with our guest this morning, the U.S. Senator from the great state of West Virginia, Senator Shelley Moore Capito. Senator, good morning, and thanks for joining us.
Good morning. Great to be on. Thanks.
We'll get into college athletics in just a minute. There was a committee hearing there with the Commerce Committee yesterday. But first, Senate Republicans have advanced a package to fund DHS's immigration agencies. That was after a back and forth with the Justice Department's anti-weaponization fund that sets up a vote-a-rama today. You could have a very long day ahead in just a little bit, so let's start there. Acting Attorney General Todd Blanche said this week, under oath, the DOJ was not moving forward with the fund. Some lawmakers have been skeptical. What say you? Are you confident that the DOJ is not moving forward with this, what has been termed anti-weaponization fund?
Yes, I'm very confident that the acting attorney general not just gave his word, but was very definitive in his language that it's dead. It won't come back. They're no be pursuing it in the future. So I am very confident that that's the last that we'll see of that. And so I think the important thing here is the funding for ICE and CBP. And our Homeland Security funding. This is really important law enforcement that the Democrats just won't fund these issues.
Senator, there's been some reporting that some senators on the Republican side would like to amend in some kind of codification that would make sure the fund could not come back. Are you supportive of that if that does indeed happen?
Well, we'll see if that actually happens. I think what we need to do is send a bill that gets to the core issue, which is the funding of Homeland Security, which is the funding of our ICE and our Border Patrol and our law enforcement efforts here. I mean, the president's done a great job slowing the border to really a trickle. And so I think a lot of times these amendments come up and they're really just meant to derail the whole the major bill, so I'm going to look at those with an eye of skepticism.
U.S. Senator Shelley Moore Capito joining us. There is some direct impact here in West Virginia with regards to this bill. Does it include funding for the Kearneysville Specialized Forces Command Center at Summit Point?
You know, it doesn't include funding for that because that will be something that will come through our regular appropriations. And we had Secretary Mullen in front of the committee. I asked him very pointedly about that because they're going to consolidate some of the command centers for the Coast Guard into Kearneysville, which is great for that area. We have several, believe it or not, Coast Guard entities there, and so it's a nice fit, and it will create some employment. So we're happy about that. This one is basically just funding the training and the payment for the next 3 years. So we don't have to keep going down this road of we're not going to pay law enforcement and we're going to pick and choose what law enforcement we're going to pay, the game that's been played here over the last several months.
Senator, after we get through reconciliation today, there is a movement when it comes to FISA. I'm told it's bipartisan, and there's an agreement. I'd like you to talk about that. I'd also like you to comment, again, on reporting that Democrats have threatened to, I'll say, derail the bill when it comes to D.N.I. Pulte and his nomination. Your thoughts?
Well, here's where I think about FISA, and I think just to explain it for those that are listening, what this is the Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Act. It gives the ability for our intelligence community to surveil and to tap into cell phones or cell phone records of people who are not American citizens who are not in our country. So you could be a foreigner in our country, and this does not cover you. If you're a foreigner outside of our country, it does cover you. Now let's go back. Why did this get created? It got created because we missed all kinds of signals in 9/11 and lost 3,000 American lives. And so there are some new guardrails that are being put on this ability to make sure that innocent people or there's no, say, collateral collection of data without a warrant from the court. So these are really important, I think, national security tools that our intelligence committee needs and our intelligence community needs to be able to disrupt and to protect our homeland. And so I'm going to vote for this. I've voted for it all along. There have been some revisions in it because of questions that have been asked.
U.S. Senator Shelley Moore Capito is joining us here on Metro News Talkline this morning. How confident are you and how confident is leadership that at the end of this vote-a-rama, the reconciliation bill does get through?
You know, I'm very confident. We had our first vote yesterday, and it was a direct partisan split, 53 to 47. I imagine that's what a lot of these votes will be as we move through. Keep in mind it's a 50-vote majority on all of these votes, so that makes it obviously a little bit easier as Republicans to pass this through this method. And I think at the end of the day we'll have this, and you're right, it's going to be a long day.
Transition to college sports, the Protect College Sports Act of 2026. First off, Senator, do you support that legislation?
I do. I am trying to get my name on the co-sponsor list as we speak. I'm looking for a partner, a Democrat partner, to partner with me on that, and that's a little bit of a steep hill, but I'm talking to a lot of my friends over there now. We had testimony yesterday from Nick Saban, a good West Virginian, and Gordon Gee, who we all know, but also the head of the Pac-12. We had a student athlete from the University of Utah, and we also had a AD from Notre Dame. And a really consistent theme is college sports are broken. Women's and athletic sports are under extreme duress, and you all know me, know well enough to know that I'm a big supporter of women's and college sports and the opportunities that it brings, and I don't want to see our ability to get scholarships lessened. And that's what's happening. Colleges and universities can't afford all of this, and so they're dropping sports. And what are they going to drop? They're going to drop the lesser sports or the non-revenue sports that they have. And also, I don't want to see these super conferences created. So when you see the SEC and the Big Ten come out against this bill, yeah, because they're the big dogs in the hunt. They can make all the money, pay all the money, and negotiate the money for TV rights, and really leaves a lot of our country, including West Virginia, WVU and Marshall principally, out of the mix. And I'm very concerned about that. And I think we've just lost sight. You know, when you look at these basketball games and they go, oh, well, this guy played, for 4 different schools, and this guy played for 3, and this guy's 26, and this guy played for a semi-pro team, you're saying to yourself, I thought this was college athletics. And, what is this? And it's a semi-pro team. And I think college athletics needs to go back to its core mission and to compensate the players for their name, image, and likeness, and to be able to allow them to transfer and be in a portal, but not 4 and 5 times. And so I think, generally speaking, this has been a well-worked bill. It's a bipartisan bill, and I support it. I'm sure it won't pass in the form it's in right now, and we'll make some adjustments.
Are we still avoiding the elephant in the room, Senator, when it comes to college athletics, that this bill does not address whether student-athletes are actually employees and can collectively bargain, which could, at least in my mind, maybe take care of a lot of these problems if they had the ability to collectively bargain like the professional sports leagues do? Are we still sidestepping that issue here?
That issue in this bill is silent, and you are correct about that. And that's some of the criticism that people who believe, I personally do not believe that students should be employees or that they should be collective bargaining. I'm so you and I are not in agreement there. And so I personally believe that that further corrupts, I think, the mission of developing leadership, getting an education, playing for your school, all of the, school spirit that these schools generate. I just feel like we're going to, what are they going to do, go on strike? And do you pay them? I just think collective bargaining brings in a whole large, I think very heavy, disputable area. But that is one of the things that's holding up full support of this bill. You're correct on that.
Nick Saban
differing opinions.
Nick Saban said yesterday, right now in college sports, we have no rules. The NCAA cannot enforce their own rules. Every time they try to enforce those rules, they're subject to a lawsuit. It's a race to the bottom. I know this legislation would give the NCAA an antitrust exemption, but it goes further. It codifies how many times you can transfer and different things. Why not just give the NCAA an exemption to the Antitrust Act and let them handle it from there?
Well, I think, it's interesting when you kind of introed into this, you said, who goes to Congress and asks you to legislate? No, you're right, nobody. But what's happened is this system is hodgepodged all around the country, And it's making it extremely difficult. And anytime the NCAA does a ruling, they get sued in one state or the other. So, we need to set sort of the parameters and then let the NCAA be the regulator here, as they have been. But to be honest with you, they fell way short. They could have headed this problem off or at least handled it a lot better if they just faced the music, and they didn't. And so, now you got your back up against the wall, which is not the best way to make decisions in any part of your life, and this is no different. So I think that you're right. I don't think we need to be heavy-handed here. But I do think limiting your amount of availability, limiting how many times you can transfer on a national basis, I think that's a pretty light touch, and it probably makes a lot of sense.
For the record, I didn't say I was for collective bargaining. I just think that's where we ultimately end up in, years down the road. Yeah. Like a senator misquoting
I didn't mean
me
to
there.
tag you with that. God, fake news from me.
Hashtag
Jeez.
fake news, right?
Throw me over the barrel here. Sorry about that.
Hey, how does this specifically, though, protect women's and Olympic sports? Because we get focused on football, basketball, but you're right. Ultimately, a lot of times the collateral damage is the swimming and diving team, or it's the track team, the non-revenue generating sports. So how does this specifically protect those athletic programs?
What it does is it helps colleges and universities be able to distribute the money through their revenue sports, their football, and their mostly men's basketball, but some women's basketball, to the sports. So you're going to be required to maintain we wouldn't dictate exactly how many sports or however you would handle it, but, the balance. And, to me, Title IX is a huge elephant in the room that nobody's talking about. This is equal representation for women's sports, and think how we've come since the 70s when that first went into effect. And so I don't want to see that lessened. Look at WVU creates a rifle team that goes right to the Olympics. A lot of the students from there, because we have obviously national champs, so great reputations there. And so the universities are going to have no choice but to cut some of these sports that are expensive to manage because of travel or whatever. And these students can't really get name, image, and likeness in any kind of large amount to sustain. And so this will help in several ways. It helps kind of equalize that.
You hit it. The SEC and the Big Ten, they don't like this, and they're the big dogs right now.
Right.
I'm curious, what would keep them, if at all, or maybe they should be allowed to do this, from just saying, see ya, NCAA, we're going to do our own thing? Would this legislation regulate them at all or prevent that? Or is that a good thing? Just let them go. Let them do their own thing, and then we can get back to college sports for anyone who wants to be in college sports.
Yeah, my understanding is that that to be able to collectively become a collective and then get your television rights, that part, that's where the money is. That's what the Big Ten and the SEC don't want to get rid of, because they obviously get paid the most. They're on TV the most, and they end up with national championships and players and facilities, and it just kind of is a spiral. That it would be voluntary, so they could, I think, and I'll have to make sure I understand exactly the process here, but I think they could opt out, and I think they didn't. Senator Cruz and Senator Cantwell, when they brought it to the committee, didn't want to have it be a mandatory experience. Obviously, Ted Cruz is from Texas. He's got a lot of SEC teams down there. Mm-hmm. So, he probably had an eye to that. So I think it's a voluntary, whether you join into this collective to be able to get your television deals done. They could opt out of that. And maybe they could flee altogether, I don't know, and pick up more and create sort of a super, outside of the NCAA, a super football conference. That may be what they're thinking, but they aggravate me because, of course, you're the ones that have all the donors. You have the wealth in your particular states. You have the programs. You buy the coaches. You buy the ADs, and so of course you don't want anybody getting into your sandbox. And I would say to them, be a team player here. It's not always going to be like that for you. And these other sports and women and Olympic sports need to have their rights protected as well.
U.S. Senator Shelley Moore Capito, we need to talk college sports more often, Senator. Come back anytime. We'll talk sports.
Hey, big weekend this weekend
That's
in Morgantown.
Right. First pitch is
I
noon
heard
tomorrow.
The prices were really high. Did you hear that? Have you guys talked about that?
I hadn't heard that.
For the tickets?
Secondary market, I was looking. It's getting up there because this. I mean, it's economics. People got their tickets. They want to sell them. They're going to go. We need to talk golf, Senator. Little Birdie told me you may have bested your husband in the last round of golf. I don't know if you want to comment on that or not.
Mm-hmm. Well, we'll just leave that between spouses. He can hit it twice as far as me, twice as far. But where the heck is it going? I can hit it down the middle every time, so there are certain advantages for that.
U.S. Senator Shelley Moore Capito, thank you for the time, Senator. We appreciate it.
Thank you all. Bye-bye.
Back in a moment. This is Talkline from the Encova Insurance Studios.
Hello, West Virginia. This is Rachel Fetty Anderson, candidate for U.S. Senate. My team and I are so grateful for your trust and the Democratic nomination for the U.S. Senate race in November. We heard you. You are ready for change. While we work to earn your vote, we will be representing a different kind of blue, free of corporate dollars, and working only for West Virginians, our communities, our families, and our children. Look for Rachel Fetty Anderson on your ballot in November. I look forward to meeting you this summer, and I'll see you in November. I'm Rachel Fetty Anderson, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Elect Fetty Anderson, Senate campaign.
We are there for you, to care for you at the health plan. We are here for you.
For over 4 decades, we've been rooted deep inside West Virginia. Through thick and thin, supporting local families and businesses. Proudly serving your neighborhood since 1979. Your trusted partner in the community.
The health plan. We are here for you.
Are you ready to reach the finish line of retirement? At the Stike team at Wealth Enhancement Group, we provide comprehensive guidance for retirement planning in West Virginia. With years of experience, we'll draft a plan tailored for your unique goals. Whether you're just starting or nearing retirement, we make the process as simple as possible, easy, and stress-free. Visit wealthenhancement.com/Stike to set up a complimentary consultation and get started on your plan today. Let's work toward your dream retirement together.
You're listening to Talkline on Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
Leading the efforts to build a stronger West Virginia, the High Technology Foundation has a proven plan to strengthen and diversify our state's economy. The I-79 Technology Park's high-capacity infrastructure continues to attract advanced federal operations that are driving economic growth. This keeps our young, educated residents in the state and brings West Virginians home. The High Technology Foundation, building a stronger West Virginia. Learn more today at WVHTF.org.
Sunshine, open roads, and a new Toyota from Dan Cava Toyota World. Lease an all-new Camry for as low as $398 a month. All new Tundras now up to $8,000 off. All new Tacomas now up to $4,500 off or lease as low as $399 a month. $7,500 off the new BZ or 0% financing for 72 months. We've got a Toyota for you at Dan Cava Toyota World in Fairmont. Shop the world.
West Virginia's data center debate is moving fast. In this 3-part series, I look at the issue from 3 sides.
The end goal is to facilitate data center investment in West Virginia in strategic locations that make sense.
We really want to support local development that works for our county.
We go out into the community before we make the final decision.
State of Minds presents the pertinent perspectives. Watch and make up your own mind.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong. And they're all backed by the peace of mind protection of the industry's best limited warranty. Visit your Honda Marine dealer today and find out why it's more than an engine. It's your time on the water.
MetroNews Talkline is presented by Encova Insurance, encircling you with coverage to protect what you care about most. Visit Encova.com to learn more.
Text line is 304-TALK-304. Phone number is 800-765-TALK, 800-765-8255. That's the text line. That's the phone number. Texter says, how about talking the national debt? going up. There you go. We talked the national debt today.
Don't do that. You're going to give me a heart attack.
Well, which part of that sentence was incorrect? It's going up.
Nothing.
All right.
I just, I don't know. You know how I feel about this.
I don't want you to get your blood pressure up.
I've been doing better. I've been trying to walk a lot more to get it down. It's helping.
That's good. That's good. Evening walks?
Yeah, evening walks. I tell you what I'm doing. We go to the course, walk the cart path.
Oh, that's a good idea. That's
Kids can go. Yeah, it's fun. I like it.
Oh, that's what you're doing this afternoon, right? You're going out
No,
to
I'm
walk
playing.
to. Oh, well, that's not going to lower your blood pressure.
Sure it will.
Beautiful day for it, though. Perfect
It
day.
is nice outside.
Perfect day. Perfect day for high school softball championships, by the way. Champions will be crowned in Class 4A and AAA. We'll check in with Daniel Woods coming up a little bit later this hour. Hoppy does a full-on breakdown of the Protect College Sports Act in his commentary this morning. We'll get his take coming up 11:06 and his take on other matters as well. We'll talk to State Senator Brian Helton on the other side of the break. We'll get your thoughts as well. 304-TALK, 304 and 800-765-TALK, the text line and the phone number. This is Talkline on Metro News. For 40 years, the voice of West Virginia. It is 10:30, time to get a news update. Let's check in with the Metro News Radio Network, find out what's happening all across the great state of West Virginia.
Today's Metro News television forecast is brought to you by Selango Law. Get results, not excuses.
Welcome in. Got you your latest on a Thursday. Meteorologist Joe Hansel here. Let's have some dry and pleasant conditions out the door today. The forecast ahead, watching some warm to hot temperatures, a warming trend, and some rain and thunderstorm potential at some point for the weekend. Yesterday had a high of 80 in Charleston. That's right at average for the time of the year. And 8 below average for the low at 50. Some patchy dense fog is possible. No highlights for dense fog advisories this time, though, today. Generally sunshine with some warmer temperatures in store for a lot of us today. Fly Survey forecast, it starts at home. Tampa near 89 today, 91 tomorrow. Chance for a shower on Saturday near 92. From Panhandle to Panhandle, a little bit warmer today. We have highs low to middle 80s. Got some spots up to 87 potentially with plenty of sunglasses sunshine. And lows in the mid 50s to near 60 tonight. Northern areas, there is a potential risk of some isolated severe thunderstorms later at some point on Saturday, along with some heavy rain. So I'll watch potentially some strong to isolated severe weather. Can't rule out hail damaging winds later Saturday. Out east, we got some 70s to near 90s, so lots of mid to upper 80s for forecasted highs today, a little bit warmer. Mid 50s overnight tonight with some near 60s. From east to west here, highs in the ranks mostly the 70s and lots of 80s in there too. So again, we'll be noticeably warmer today. Low to mid 50s overnight. To the south, highs generally in the ranks of the 80s. Huntington, got you near 87 with your sunshine today. Lows 40s, 50s, and some spots near 60 overnight tonight. In Charleston, high near 87. Lots of sunshine. Sunny to mostly sunny with light winds today. Tomorrow, 89, near 90 on Saturday. Timing late Saturday into Sunday. Showers and storms. Can't rule out some heavy rain, severe weather, and warmer next week, too.
This is Ben Selango with Selango Law. Selango Law has earned a reputation for getting excellent results for our clients. With decades of experience handling thousands of cases, we know what it takes to deliver. Proudly voted Best in the Valley for 3 consecutive years by readers of the Charleston Gazette-Mail, Selango Law is deeply committed to giving back by investing in our community. From supporting local programs to making our region a better place to live, Selango Law is proud to be your trusted legal and community partner. Check us out at selangolaw.com.
The 2026 High School Baseball State Championship. 4 classes, 4 champions, 1 unforgettable day. From first pitch to final out, the 2026 West Virginia High School Baseball State Championship, presented by Toyota, Saturday, June 13th. Watch live on Metro News Television, Facebook, and YouTube. Available on mobile, Roku, Apple TV, Fire TV, LG TV, and select Samsung Smart TVs.
.304-TALK, 304 texter says, the national debt's only important when Democrats are in office, right? Yes, exactly right. We only talk about issues if we don't like the party that's in the White House at the time. That's when we'll talk about the issues.
I can fix the national debt in a day. Give me my 5
You're hired.
CPAs, 5 CPAs, and give me unfettered power. I'll fix it in a day.
All right. You're
Period.
hired.
It's not hard. They just don't want to do it because it'll have political consequences.
Yeah, you're hired. Sign them up, TJ. Let's see, 5 I don't know 5 CPAs. I think I know 2. And you're
accountants, whatever. I don't
Do you
care.
need-
Just finance people. Give me 5 numbers people that know how to make a balance sheet work, and don't care about politics. I'll fix it in half a day.
half
Not
a day.
that hard.
You can have this
Look,
done
dude.
you can have this done before first pitch tomorrow.
The numbers aren't hard. It's the political will to do it and get back to Americans standing on their own 2 feet and only paying for and only spending what we can afford to spend. So much for the blood pressure. Sorry.
800-765-TALKS, the phone number. 304-TALK, 304 is the text line. Reactions continue following the May 12th primary here in West Virginia, mainly over on the GOP side, about what all the results mean and what they should mean moving forward. Let's bring into the conversation State Senator from Fayette County, Brian Helton. Brian, good morning. Thanks for joining us.
Good morning, Dave. Yeah, thanks for having me.
So let's start with a broad question. You've seen the results. You've seen the reactions. What do you make of everything that has happened since May 12th?
Well, yeah, sure. Of course, May 12th, we had contentious Senate races, and we saw across the state voters resoundingly continue to choose conservative Republicans. And that includes economically conservative, focus like guys like me. They're business guys that also understand that when it comes to conservatism from an economic development standpoint, we have to make sure we're not doing corporate handouts. We're focusing on cutting business regulations. We're focusing on cutting taxes. We're making sure that infrastructure is put in place. And so we're trying to create a business environment where we have success and where we grow. At the same time, West Virginians expect us to maintain those conservative values when it comes to social issues as well. So we can walk and chew gum at the same time. Unfortunately, there's a segment of our party that doesn't understand that those two things can go together. So that's why we're here today. And I think the voters spoke very loudly in the Senate when all these incumbents, 10 out of 10, won their elections this past cycle.
2 did not. Well, 2 stayed that the other side supported. Really, Morrissey got behind Vince Deeds. Or was opposing Vince Deeds and opposing Tom Takubo. They stayed. It's pretty much status quo, isn't it, Brian?
Well, yeah. So what you have is you have 10 incumbents being challenged by one side, and they lost all 10. And so 10 out of 10 is not bad, right? And so when we look at the challengers that were brought forward, we saw people that really, with the exception of maybe 1 or 2 that don't have a lot of business background, quite honestly. I mean, TJ, one thing about you is I'm going to look at this next campaign finance report because there's probably going to be or need to be some in-kind campaign contributions from all those challengers from the Team Takubo side, because you did everything you could to help get those guys elected this last cycle. And so we'll see if it shows up or not. Of course, I say that in jest, but the reality is that was your focus this past time, was to attack Team Randy and to make sure that you focused on just one side of that issue. And so that's one of the things I want to talk to you about today as well, is your approach to selection. I think was one of the most one-sided approaches I've seen from any media source in possibly quite a really long time.
Well, I didn't know we were going there, but okay, fine. Let's get into it. How am I one-sided, sir? What did I do? I mean, I called it the way I see it. I call out attack ads that are based on half-truths and negative mailers. What did I do that's wrong? Give me a specific example of what I did that was wrong.
How about every news report? How about every time you spoke about the election? It was absolutely one-sided. And for you to even deny that, I think is really quite unbelievable.
What was one-sided?
How about every report where you continue to say one side is the only one doing negative ads, one side's the only one raising money from this source or that source from out of state, when the reality is it was across the board. It was a normal election cycle. these things happened. And
Brian, I ran a tracker on everybody that spent every pack, and I reported on it every day. The whole $500 million, every tracker for every pack on both sides.
Well, for you to act like you weren't one-sided is just really quite unbelievable because everyone knows you were one-sided. You weren't balanced in your reporting on the expenditures, on how the election goes, and even up until now, you continue to be a one-sided approach to this. You're not being balanced with Team Randy in any way.
Okay, well, I mean, again, I didn't know that we were going here this morning. I thought we were going to talk about the email that you sent out about the state executive committee. Let's transition to something that matters. People, look, I don't have that kind of sway, dude. I do a talk show. I mean, if why would you think that I have that kind of sway? Then why bring it up?
Well, because again, you the other day you decided to break my email down. So let's go ahead and talk about that then while we're at it and have that discussion.
Oh, go on, guys. I'm just sitting back and listening to this.
No, Dave, go. It's not the TJ Meadows show here. Go, Dave.
All right, explain the email. What was the email you sent, Brian? What was the message you were trying to convey?
Yeah, so the message here is quite simple. We have been through one election cycle. We have one side that says, well, we didn't lose. We did just great. Yet at the same time, they want to change how we do elections after one cycle. So it's sort of like, let's blame the scoreboard for the result of the game. The other part was to point out that the State Chamber of Commerce endorsed a couple judicial candidates, spent no money on those, instead focused on attacking 9 incumbent conservative Republican senators, plus one open seat that was served by a conservative senator. They lost all those. And my point to my fellow new members that, as you guys know, is elected to the state party, my point was to say, hey, look, how about let's focus on the business climate in West Virginia instead of focusing on 9 conservative incumbent Republican senators who, by the way, we've had 2 years of tremendous success from a business development standpoint. And by the way, I'm involved in a lot of economic development. I've had lots of meetings. We've had lots of prospects in, and I've not seen the State Chamber of Commerce at one of those. As a matter of fact, that's not who I would even think about inviting to the meeting when it comes to develop economic opportunities here. Secondly,
hang on. Let's break that down. Why are these all of a sudden the Chambers candidates? Are you telling me that the Smith faction did not support the Morrissey nominees who he put on the state Supreme Court in this election?
So the chamber publicly endorsed those. So they endorsed those two judicial candidates. Look, I have nothing against the guys that won. I didn't endorse those people, and the Senate PAC didn't endorse those people because guess what? We're supposed to be focused on Senate races, and so in protecting the incumbents that were being attacked across the state, that was our role. I would expect that the Chamber of Commerce, who's supposed to be involved in economic development, would have been focused on those judicial races that they themselves endorsed, that they said was important. Unfortunately, they didn't come to the table. They spent all their money attacking conservative Republican senators, by the way, that were all incumbents.
Senator Brian Helton joining us from Fayette County, the 9th District. Brian, here's the bottom line as I see all this. None of this helps anybody. None of this infighting in the Republican Party helps anybody. In fact, I think it weakens the Republican Party. I do think it was a wash. All this money was spent to maintain the status quo in the Senate as far as the primary goes. And I think there are probably a half dozen seats that are vulnerable in the election. That's the first time you can say that in a decade. So how do you get past all of this?
Well, and that's the point of my letter. We have to move past this because going into our state executive meeting this summer, the last thing we need to focus on is trying to change the rules of the primary structure that we established just last cycle. So after one election cycle, you have the more moderate section of our party wanting to switch that to change the rules up because they didn't like the results. If they liked the results, they would not be wanting to open these primaries back up. And so my point was, let's focus on winning the November elections. Let's come together as a party and make sure our candidates all get across the line instead of spending that time trying to infight and continuing to try to settle the score from this past election just because they weren't happy with the results.
Are you worried that independent conservatives will not support you in the general?
Absolutely not. I mean, and I addressed it in my email. I mean, to believe that you have conservative-minded people who would then go support liberal Democrats is outrageous. And TJ, I heard your statement regarding my email, acting like there are still moderate Democrats. Nobody believes that. I mean, across the board, all the Democrats unanimously in West Virginia and everywhere else, they vote for puberty blockers and hormone therapies for children. They vote to not protect girls' sports in locker rooms. None of them are pro-life. So there are not moderate Democrats in West Virginia or anywhere else. They're all to the far left, and they all support far left issues. So to believe that voters are going to go for that, conservative-minded independents are going to go for that and all of a sudden switch because they didn't get to vote in a primary, which, by the way, 90% of independents don't vote in the primary anyhow. It's just it's nonsensical. It defies logic.
They may not vote at all, though, Brian. They may stay home. And that is also, I mean, that's as good as a vote for the other guy, isn't it?
Well, yeah, they may stay home, but that has nothing to do with the primary. It has nothing to do with the primary. The general election will be the general election where everyone gets to vote for whoever they want to.
Brian, my point was, if you lose them in the primary, they don't come out and support you in the general, and then you lose in the general. You've created a cycle here where you may win the primary, but if you're putting candidates up in the general that they're not going to go support either, you're going to lose ground in the general election, and that's ultimately you got to win in the general election.
Well, the facts just don't. The facts don't match that, okay? Because what's happening is we're seeing record number of party switchers to the Republican Party, and that's both unaffiliated voters and Democrats. We have continued since closing the primary to see tremendous growth in the party numbers, and I guarantee
independent numbers are still growing too.
Yeah, and I guarantee you after this last primary cycle, when people realize, hey, I've got to be a member to vote with my group, we're going to continue to see those numbers go up. I mean, and it's happening month after month. I track this stuff monthly, and it's going at a rapid pace and at a record pace. And we're seeing every county. There's been 5 counties that have flipped since we closed the primaries. So to think this is somehow setting the party back is the exact opposite of what's happening. It's helping the party grow and grow tremendously. And the facts are on the Secretary of State's website. You can look them up.
Well, didn't independents already do what we're talking about that they may do in the general? 93,000 Democrats voted in the Senate primary. 93,000. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
You had these judges that went after independent votes, people like Kirkpatrick, Faircloth, people like Douglas, Flanagan. They got way more votes than that, Brian. They got all of them. They got anywhere from like 111,000. I was looking at the numbers up to like 115,000. Clearly, some independents broke for them. So why wouldn't independents break again in the general to send a message?
Yeah, and look, those judicial races, again, that wasn't my focus this time. I'm focused on protecting my senators that I said alongside. I did not go out and recruit against my colleagues. Like,
judicially, it still holds coming up, doesn't it?
Well, it's nonpartisan, so you're going to have more people vote, obviously, because the independents were allowed to vote. My point in my letter was that you have groups that should be focused on that if that's really who they want to win. Like I say, I didn't have a dog in that fight, and neither did our Senate PAC or anyone on our side, because that's not really our job to decide all the elections, right? Our job was to protect our friends, our colleagues, the guys that I know are doing a great job there in the Senate. I don't enjoy seeing them being attacked and enjoy them being primaried when they've done a great job. And I think the voters said, hey, look, we agree with you. They did a great job. I mean, they won in some cases by more than 20 points. And
Brian,
when it comes...
Hey, buddy, we're running up against the clock here, but we got to take a break. We got to run. We'll have to leave the conversation there for now. Brian Helton, Fayette County Senator. Always appreciate it, Brian. Thanks so much, buddy.
Thank you, guys. Have a good day.
Back in a moment. We'll check in on softball.
Right now, America is hungry for energy, more power, more reliability, and more security. So here's a question worth asking. Why not coal? And why not now? West Virginia sits on one of the most abundant energy resources in the world. Generations of miners, proven infrastructure, and coal-fired power plants already delivering dependable, around-the-clock electricity. At a time when demand is surging and reliability matters more than ever, coal isn't a question mark, it's a solution. Today, there's robust support in West Virginia and Washington to strengthen American energy independence using the resources we already have. So again, we ask, why not coal? And why not now? Because when it comes to powering our homes, our hospitals, our economy, and new opportunities, West Virginia Coal is ready. A message from the Friends of Coal, powering America today and tomorrow.
You're listening to Talkline on Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
What does it mean to lead in medicine? J.W. Ruby Memorial Hospital is the top hospital in West Virginia, nationally recognized for 3 programs in 18 procedures and conditions. But to us, leadership means being first in care, in lives saved, in lives restored. In medicine, we lead in the ways that truly matter.
In 1914, the same year the first commercial flight soared and the Panama Canal opened, Greer Industries was born. Herbert and Agnes Greer began in Morgantown, West Virginia, striking the first pick into the limestone formation that would become the backbone of one of the state's great industrial legacies. From the roads we drive on, the buildings we build, and the communities we serve, Greer Industries has been delivering quality for decades. At Greer Industries, we've been improving lives for more than a century.
Download Metro News Television on your iPhone or Android. Search Metro News Television in your app store. Create an account today to get alerts and watch all live and archived content. Download now.
At Daniel's Men's Store, exceptional style begins with a curated selection and finishes with a flawless fit. When it's time to buy a suit, Daniel's is here to make sure yours is one of a kind. Discovered tailored suits you'll only find in store at Daniel's.
Longer days, warmer drives, and better deals at Dan Cava GMC. Hit the road in one of our new luxury GMC Acadias. Take your pick from our massive selection. Now up to $5,500 off select new Acadias and 3.9% for 60 months. The great deals continue with our large selection of quality pre-owned vehicles. All this and more at Dan Cava GMC in Bridgeport. Shop the world.
Metro News Talkline is presented by Encova Insurance, encircling you with coverage to protect what you care about most. Visit Encova.com to learn more.
Let's check in at Little Creek Park High School Softball State Tournament, where champions will be crowned today in Class AAA and Class 4A. He's the 4th hardest working man in sports media. Daniel Woods joins us. Daniel, got elimination games to start the day.
That's right, we do. Class Quad A, Class AAA going on simultaneously. We've got the possibility for some pretty significant rivalries to be played for championships today, but there's a couple of highly rated teams that would like to have something to say about that. Both of these games are already underway. For Quad A, you've got Morgantown and George Washington playing right now, or rather, University and George Washington playing for the right to face Morgantown for the championship. This was a game yesterday between these two that was a 1-0 George Washington win. University has taken a 1-0 lead as we're sitting in the top of the second. Maddie Campbell got on for University, came around and scored on a bases-loaded walk. On the other side, we've got Herbert Hoover and John Marshall. They're playing in this last elimination game for the right to play Winfield for the state championship. John Marshall's the number 1 seed. Herbert Hoover's number 3. Winfield's number 2. So the top 3 seeds all still alive in Class AAA. And like I said, you've got a chance for some rivalries to be put together here for the championships with Morgantown and University, as well as Herbert Hoover and Winfield. But George Washington, John Marshall, 2 very talented teams that have earned the right to be here, and they'd like to have something to say about it.
Help me understand, if Morgantown and Winfield win today, it's theirs, correct?
That is correct. So we will have champions by the end of the day today. What we're looking at is a maximum of 3 games in each classification. It's double elimination. You got to be beaten twice to be knocked out of the tournament. Morgantown and Winfield are both 3-0. The teams they will be playing, regardless of who wins these first games here today, will have 1 loss. So say, for example, University, if this lead holds, they advance and play Morgantown. If Morgantown wins the second game of the day, they're the state champions. If University wins the second game of the day, they will play again, and it's winner take all for the championship. So it's an advantageous spot for the teams that are undefeated at this point with Morgantown and Winfield, because they only have to win once today to win a state championship. You factor in these elimination games, and the teams that are on the field right now, in theory, would have to win 3 games to win a state championship.
Daniel, that's called the catbird seat for Morgantown and Winfield there.
You're certainly right. And the way that we have got these 8-team double elimination tournaments set up, it is advantageous to win games, and you are rewarded for winning games. That's the reason they set up the bracket the way that they did. But it's also set up in a way that you can pull off anything.
That's some John Gruden, Trent Dilfer type analysis right there, Daniel. It's advantageous to win games. You can't win when you lose games, right?
Yeah, and there's been standout pitching in this tournament, so I will add to the point. You can't win without scoring, and we have had some tremendous pitching in this tournament. Maddie Campbell's in the circle right now for University, and she is not allowed to run in this tournament, to the point of Morgantown being in your catbird seat. Maddie Wisman for the Mohegans has started all 3 of their games. She is not allowed to run. She's thrown 21 scoreless innings.
This is why he's the 4th hardest working man in sports media, Daniel Woods. Daniel, appreciate the update. We'll see you this weekend, buddy.
See you this weekend. I'm just trying to move up to 3rd.
Back to wrap up the hour after this.
Right now, America is hungry for energy, more power, more reliability, and more security. So here's a question worth asking. Why not coal? And why not now? West Virginia sits on one of the most abundant energy resources in the world. Generations of miners, proven infrastructure, and coal-fired power plants already delivering dependable, around-the-clock electricity. At a time when demand is surging and reliability matters more than ever, coal isn't a question mark, it's a solution. Today, there's robust support in West Virginia and Washington to strengthen American energy independence using the resources we already have. So again, we ask, why not coal? And why not now? Because when it comes to powering our homes, our hospitals, our economy, and new opportunities, West Virginia Coal is ready. A message from the Friends of Coal, powering America today and tomorrow.
This boating season, elevate your family time with Lou Wendell Marine Sales. Proudly family-owned for over 40 years, Lou and his sons are West Virginia's largest Avalon pontoon dealer. Trusted experts in premium boats, motors, and service. Discover refined comfort, elegant design, and performance you can feel. Now is the perfect time to take advantage of preseason savings. At Lou Wendell Marine Sales, they don't just sell boats. They sell family fun. Visit LouWendellMarineSales.com because the weekend's almost here.
You're listening to Talkline on Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
I'm Sean Kovich, Mountaineer golf coach. When disaster strikes your home, business, or golf game, call the restoration company the Mountaineers call. Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration.
Leading the efforts to build a stronger West Virginia, the High Technology Foundation has a proven plan to strengthen and diversify our state's economy. The I-79 Technology Park's high-capacity infrastructure continues to attract advanced federal operations that are driving economic growth. This keeps our young, educated residents in the state and brings West Virginians home. The High Technology Foundation, building a stronger West Virginia. Learn more today at WVHTF.org.
What does it mean to lead in medicine? J.W. Ruby Memorial Hospital is the top hospital in West Virginia, nationally recognized for 3 programs in 18 procedures and conditions. But to us, leadership means being first in care, in lives saved, in lives restored. In medicine, we lead in the ways that truly matter.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong. and they're all backed by the peace of mind protection of the industry's best limited warranty. Visit your Honda Marine dealer today and find out why it's more than an engine. It's your time on the water.
.com.
Very quick update. Mike Nolting on the scene of an incident in Saberton and Morgantown where police are on scene. One person involved. There is no threat. Let me emphasize, no threat to the public. But Mike Nolting is working to confirm the details of that incident near the CVS in Saberton. Hope to get an update with him in the second hour. Let me tell you, jackpots are growing in West Virginia. Jackpots are on the rise every week. Powerball hits Mondays, Wednesdays, and Saturdays. Mega Millions lights up Tuesdays and Fridays. That's 5 chances a week to get in on life-changing jackpots. Play in store and online. 18 plus to play. Please play responsibly. The Powerball jackpot is $212 million. Mega Millions jackpot is $368 million. So go ahead, play today. All right, we're going to take a break. TJ and I are going to discuss our campaign strategy for candidates in the general election, and we'll be right back after this. This is Talkline on Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
Today's Metro News television forecast is brought to you by Salango Law. Get results, not excuses.
Welcome in. Got you your latest on a Thursday. Meteorologist Joe Hansel here. Have some dry and pleasant conditions out the door today. The forecast ahead, watching some warm to hot temperatures, a warming trend, and some rain and thunderstorm potential at some point for the weekend. Yesterday had a high of 80 in Charleston. That's right at average for the time of the year. And 8 below average for the low at 50. Some patchy dense fog is possible. No highlights for dense fog advisories this time, though, today. Generally sunshine with some warmer temperatures in store for a lot of us today. Fly Survey forecast, it starts at home. Tampa near 89 today, 91 tomorrow. Chance for a shower on Saturday near 92. From Panhandle to Panhandle, a little bit warmer today. We have highs low to middle 80s. Got some spots up to 87 potentially with plenty of sunglasses sunshine. And lows in the mid 50s to near 60 tonight. Northern areas, there is a potential risk of some isolated severe thunderstorms later at some point on Saturday, along with some heavy rain. So I'll watch potentially some strong to isolated severe weather. Can't rule out hail, damaging winds later Saturday. Out east, we got some 70s to near 90s, so lots of mid to upper 80s for forecasted highs today, a little bit warmer. Mid 50s overnight tonight with some near 60s. From east to west here, highs in the ranks mostly the 70s and lots of 80s in there too. So again, we'll be noticeably warmer today. Low to mid 50s overnight. To the south, highs generally in the ranks of the 80s. Huntington, got you near 87 with your sunshine today. Lows 40s, 50s, and some spots near 60 overnight tonight. In Charleston, high near 87. Lots of sunshine. Sunny to mostly sunny with light winds today. Tomorrow, 89, near 90 on Saturday. Timing late Saturday into Sunday. Showers and storms. Can't rule out some heavy rain, severe weather, and warmer next week, too.
This is Ben Salango with Salango Law. Salango Law has earned a reputation for getting excellent results for our clients. With decades of experience handling thousands of cases, we know what it takes to deliver. Proudly voted Best in the Valley for 3 consecutive years by readers of the Charleston Gazette-Mail, Salango Law is deeply committed to giving back by investing in our community. From supporting local programs to making our region a better place to live, Salango Law is proud to be your trusted legal and community partner. Check us out at salangolaw.com.
The 2026 High School Baseball State Championship. 4 classes, 4 champions, 1 unforgettable day. From first pitch to final out, the 2026 West Virginia High School Baseball State Championship, presented by Toyota, Saturday, June 13th. Watch live on Metro News Television, Facebook, and YouTube. Available on mobile, Roku, Apple TV, Fire TV, LG TV, and select Samsung Smart TVs.
Today's Metro News television forecast is brought to you by Salango Law. Get results, not excuses.
Welcome in. Got you your latest on a Thursday. Meteorologist Joe Hansel here. Let's have some dry and pleasant conditions out the door today. The forecast ahead, watching some warm to hot temperatures, a warming trend, and some rain and thunderstorm potential at some point for the weekend. Yesterday had a high of 80 in Charleston. That's right at average for the time of the year. And 8 below average for the low at 50. Some patchy dense fog is possible. No highlights for dense fog advisories this time, though, today. Generally sunshine with some warmer temperatures in store for a lot of us today. Fly Survey forecast, it starts at home. Tampa near 89 today, 91 tomorrow. Chance for a shower on Saturday near 92. From Panhandle to Panhandle, a little bit warmer today. We have highs low to middle 80s. Got some spots up to 87 potentially with plenty of sunglasses sunshine. And lows in the mid 50s to near 60 tonight. Northern areas, there is a potential risk of some isolated severe thunderstorms later at some point on Saturday, along with some heavy rain. So I'll watch potentially some strong to isolated severe weather. Can't rule out hail damaging winds later Saturday. Out east, we got some 70s to near 90s, so lots of mid to upper 80s for forecasted highs today, a little bit warmer. Mid 50s overnight tonight with some near 60s. From east to west here, highs in the ranks mostly the 70s and lots of 80s in there too. So again, we'll be noticeably warmer today. Low to mid 50s overnight. To the south, highs generally in the ranks of the 80s. Huntington, got you near 87 with your sunshine today. Lows 40s, 50s, and some spots near 60 overnight tonight. In Charleston, high near 87. Lots of sunshine. Sunny to mostly sunny with light winds today. Tomorrow, 89, near 90 on Saturday. Timing late Saturday into Sunday. Showers and storms. Can't rule out some heavy rain, severe weather, and warmer next week, too.
This is Ben Salango with Salango Law. Salango Law has earned a reputation for getting excellent results for our clients. With decades of experience handling thousands of cases, we know what it takes to deliver. Proudly voted Best in the Valley for 3 consecutive years by readers of the Charleston Gazette-Mail, Salango Law is deeply committed to giving back by investing in our community. From supporting local programs to making our region a better place to live, Salango Law is proud to be your trusted legal and community partner. Check us out at salangolaw.com.
MetroNews Talkline is presented by Encova Insurance, encircling you with coverage to protect what you care about most. Visit Encova.com to learn more.
Second hour of MetroNews Talkline. We're in the Encova Insurance Studios. 800-765-TALK is the phone number. 800-765-8255. The text line is 304-TALK-304. Coming up, bottom of the hour, we'll be joined by State Auditor Mark Hunt. Mike Nolting is also going to check in with us about 15 minutes from now. We're going to get an update on an incident in Saberton in Morgantown this morning. Deputies and Morgantown police were on scene this morning. The investigation is active and ongoing. There is no threat to the public at this time. There is no ongoing threat to the public at this time because of the incident there at CVS, but we are going to get an update from Mike, who is on scene about 15 minutes from now. TJ Meadows down in the Charleston Bureau this morning. You got your campaign strategies all done, ready to go?
I don't know what to say. Yeah, you know, the funny thing is, I'm kind of like Helton's Simon Cowell, if you think about it. He loves to come at me, but deep down, he really loves me, and he knows I'm right.
It's a weird relationship, you two guys. You know, I
guess.
We'll get to Hoppy in just a second. I was one breath away from telling Brian I agreed with him that, yes, you can walk and chew gum at the same time. You can do business. You can do social issues. Yes, you need to all come together and start pushing in the same direction, or the party's going to be weakened, and you're going to open the door for Democratic gains in the November general election. And just as I was drawing the breath, TJ, that's where it went sideways and went down a he started in the ballpark of, yeah, you can walk and chew gum at the same time. And then it went in a weird left turn there, whatever you want to say, the rest of the way. Look,
I'm a big boy. I can handle it. We move on.
Well, look, here's the problem, T. And not you. You're not the problem. You're fine. Here's the problem. If you are out, and I'm going to say this again, you've said it, I've said it, if you are out insisting on big wins and big gains and we did great, if you have to go out and do that, you didn't really do that. We would have said that on election night. Jeff Jenkins, you, me, Brad McElhenney, whoever we had on the election cup, we would have said that. It would have been obvious if you had that big of wins, if there were that many mandates from voters. We would have said it. We would have seen it, and others would be saying it. Here's the problem, TJ. Nobody's saying that, except the people who want to portray that. And I get it, but guys, that's not a successful path forward.
My high school English teacher told me I would use Shakespeare one day, and I doubted her. But I've been saying it a lot lately from Hamlet. The lady doth protest too much, methinks.
We'll get some text messages in as well. 304-TALK, 304-800-765-TALK is the phone number. Hoppy writes over at WVMetroNews.com this morning that there just may be a way to return college sports to sanity while still protecting athletes' rights to be paid for their work. That in the form of the Protect College Sports Act that was introduced in the U.S. Senate. We talked to Senator Capito about that. Hoppy writes about it this morning. Hop, good morning.
Good morning, guys.
Well, first of all, it's borderline insane that college sports is to the point where they are inviting Congress to step in to try to fix the problems. But, Hop, there are some deep-seated problems. You've been covering college sports for years. Congress may be the only entity that can fix college sports at this point.
Some want Congress to get involved and some don't, which represents the
well,
problems in college
the
athletics.
SEC,
is that the Big Ten and the SEC, who are the big dogs, they want to go off on their own because they're the biggest and most powerful and most profitable, and they kind of like the chaos because it benefits them. But there's the rest of college sports that doesn't like it as much. And look, right now you have mega conferences, you have and have not colleges, you have professional college players who are unrecognizable as student athletes. You have, in some instances, a de-emphasis of women's and Olympic sports, and it's a mess. It's truly a mess. And Congress has tried to do something and hasn't gotten any progress, but this is an interesting bill. It's called Protect College Sports Act. It has some bipartisan support. Co-sponsors are Texas Republican Ted Cruz and Washington Democrat Maria Cantwell. And they held a hearing on the bill yesterday. Among those testifying was Nick Saban and also former WVU President E. Gordon Gee. And it addresses some of these issues that are problematic. And if I could just mention a few, it limits athletes to one transfer without losing eligibility. Players would have to sit out a season if they transfer multiple times. Right now you have players that might play at 4 and 5 schools, which is chaotic. It establishes a 5-year eligibility window, so you can have 5 to play 5. It has enforceable compensation caps and aims to make it more difficult, and this is a real problem for schools, to create workarounds of revenue-sharing limits and offering bogus NIL deals. It would prohibit coaches from leaving one job for another during the season. It would allow for pooling of media rights, which could bring in more money. And it would provide some legal protection, an antitrust exemption to the NCAA, so that when they enforce a rule, they wouldn't be subject, so somebody couldn't sue them and just say the rule is unfair. So it addresses not all, but many of the issues that are problematic in college sports today.
Hoppy, help me out, because I struggle with this issue. I tend to be philosophically from the point of view, I don't want Congress in things, but I agree it's a mess. Is the answer perhaps, and I asked the senator this, let the SEC and the Big Ten do their own thing. Let them break off and do what they want, and then the rest of us can focus on college ball again. Is that an answer or no?
I don't think it is, because what does that give you then? Does that give you like a mini NFL? Yeah. That the networks are drawn to and say, "Wow, we don't really care about the West Virginia, Virginia Tech game. or the West Virginia-Texas Tech game, all we care about is Alabama and Auburn and Michigan and Ohio State and Oregon. That's all we care about because that's where most of the eyeballs are. And so you'd end up, I think, with two distinct classes. And it would leave schools, a lot of schools like West Virginia, behind if that happened. And I think that's what the Big Ten and the SEC want. And they've come out against this bill. Why? Because they already have most of the marbles, and they want all the marbles.
Mm-hmm. Hoppy Kercheval joining us. You can read his commentary at WVMetroNews.com. Hop, this still sidesteps the issue, and to me this is the big problem, that we can't decide whether these are student athletes or they're employees. The professional sports leagues have these types of rules, but they're collectively bargained. Everybody agrees to it. You know what you're getting. I have a tough time just in my mind going, wait, we're going to create a federal law that says a person can't leave a job because of simply that job is ongoing at the time. So to me, that would be like creating a job and saying, well, you can't leave because you're covering the legislature at this point. You can't leave during that time, and we're going to create a law. I see some problems there, and we're still sidestepping this issue that I think we eventually get to, whether we want it to or not, where we have collective bargaining with these athletes that are making 7, sometimes 8 figures through playing college athletics.
Dave, that's a really good point. And this legislation, as I have read it, does not deal with that issue.
Right.
And the question is whether or not these are employees. And if it doesn't deal with it, then it would leave them as not being employees. If they were employees, then they could be like professional sports leagues and could bargain collectively. So that is a big hole in this bill. And I don't know what the answer is there. Some of the concerns being expressed about the bill, and I was having a debate with somebody this morning, is that does this reduce the power of the employees, of the athletes? So that's a legitimate question that is not resolved in this legislation.
When you look at the bill, one of the standouts here is that you would exempt the NC2A from the antitrust provisions within law currently today. Would that be enough, Hop? Would that be enough to give them the ability so that they can't be sued, they can enforce their rules, and then Congress could get out of the way all these other things about transfers and these things and codifying all of this? Wouldn't it be enough just to give them the exemption, or no?
Well, that exemption's in there for a reason, because right now, and Nick Saban said it yesterday, quote, right now in college sports, we have no rules.
Mm-hmm.
And meaning that the NCAA can't enforce their own rules. Because the moment they do try to enforce a rule, somebody brings a lawsuit and a local judge rules in favor of the athlete and against the school. So you have no rules. So this would set up rules and allow the NCAA to enforce them and exempt them from lawsuits. Although there are exemptions, and I need to dig a little bit deeper into this, but there are built into the bill some exemptions to allow, in certain circumstances, a student could still bring legal action if he or she felt that the NCAA was not following the rules. Okay? You can't challenge the rule, but you could say, oh, if you're not following the rule, then you could be subject to court action. But look, how do you have an organization as large as college sports without rules? Because you don't have them now. Mm-hmm. You have them, but nobody's enforcing them, and they're not able to enforce them. And so you need some standardization, right? You need to level the playing field here some. Supposedly you have rules now and say, well, you got NIL and you got revenue sharing and these are the rules. But a lot of schools just say, well, we're not going to follow those rules. We're just going to do what we want. What are you going to do? And if you object, we'll bring a lawsuit that says you're interfering with the right of that student to make as much money as he or she can. So it's just a mess, and it needs some standardization. And maybe, and this may be the old guy, maybe returning to the concept of at least being a student athlete. If an athlete is going to 4 different schools in 4 years, is that a student athlete? Is there any university association with that athlete? I mean, if you want to do that, you can do that. It seems to me to be headed in the wrong direction.
Well,
there's a way. Look, there's a way, and it's appropriate that these athletes should be compensated. For too long, look, colleges screwed it up. They screwed it up because for too long they took all the money, and did not pay the help. Okay? Okay, they didn't pay them. They didn't share and if they had done this 20 years ago, you wouldn't have this. But they didn't do it. They didn't do it. Now they got this problem. Now the athletes are being compensated, and they should be compensated because they are the labor. They're producing the outcome. However, there needs to be some standardization. The playing field needs to be leveled. And if the colleges aren't going to do it because they can't agree, then it's appropriate for Congress to get involved.
And Hop, it's not, maybe I'm getting old. Maybe I'm the old guy too, Hop. I'm with you with the idea of the student athletes. And look, I don't blame them if you go from one school to the next to capitalize on the athletic ability that you have right now to turn that into compensation. I don't blame them a bit, Hop. But I mean, how often do we talk about the student athletes? How many go on to play in the NFL or Major League Baseball or NBA? And those are the three like you can go make a career out of, maybe WNBA, but you're not going to make a career, no offense, softball players. You know, you can go play professionally, but we're missing the point of college athletics, and not to be the old guy, back in the day kind of guy, but we're missing that point where so many of these student athletes, they need to be trained. They need to have a degree, come out there with an education so you can have a career and let sports open the doors to those types of careers.
Yes.
And we're losing that, and we've lost that.
Yeah, you are. And again, it is appropriate for the athletes to be compensated.
Sure.
And for a while, their bank accounts will be flush. But that's not going to be enough money to last forever. And if they're not going to be professional athletes, then what do they have when the money's gone? Okay? Mm-hmm. And I think it leaves them in a lurch. And I think too, Dave, you're a big Marshall guy, and I think about schools like Marshall. They are going to get WVU is in danger of being left behind if you have the SEC and the Big Ten just control everything, and Marshall's going to be left behind.
Are being left behind. I mean, like, we joke around, Hop. The NIL deals are how many Tudor's biscuits we can get you. That's only a half joke, Hop. That's only a half joke.
I understand. So if you can't get the colleges to agree, then, and I know we look at Congress and say, oh, they can't agree on anything. Well, that's usual, but this is a bipartisan bill. I mean, Cantwell and Cruz together on this bill, and I don't know what Senator Capito said. I'm sorry I missed that, but maybe there's just a chance. Maybe there's a chance that this could pass and create a framework to bring some normalcy to something that millions of people love and is important to student athletes.
Hoppy Kercheval, you can read his commentary at WVMetroNews.com. Hop, always appreciate it, buddy.
Thanks, guys. Talk soon. We'll
check in with Mike Knowlton, get an update on what's happening in Morgantown this morning. This is Talkline from the Encove Insurance Studios.
Approach your retirement with confidence. With over 150 years of combined experience, the advisors of the Stike team at Wealth Enhancement Group provide advice and wealth management strategies to individuals, families, small businesses, professional offices, and institutions. With the Stike team, you'll have access to an advising team with extensive resources, a client-first mindset, and a passion for helping transform the lives of those we serve. Visit wealthenhancement.com/Stike today and join the team that's dedicated to your success.
They say you can't take the lottery with you. But now, you can play anywhere, anytime with iPlay, the West Virginia Lottery's official app. From Cooper's Rock to the Greenbrier River, from the bleachers to your living room, iPlay goes where you do. Safe, simple, and always West Virginia proud. Play anywhere, anytime. Download iPlay today. iPlay, the fun, secure way to play, wherever life takes you. 18 plus to play. Play responsibly.
Building a stronger West Virginia isn't just a dream, it's a mission. The High Technology Foundation knows economic diversity is the key. For over 30 years, they've been dedicated to transforming the state's economic landscape. Conveniently located in the heart of West Virginia, innovation, growth, opportunity, all under one roof. There's no need to look far for change. It's happening right here at the High Technology Foundation in North Central West Virginia. Visit WVHTF.org to learn more.
Right now, America is hungry for energy, more power, more reliability, and more security. So here's a question worth asking. Why not coal? And why not now? West Virginia sits on one of the most abundant energy resources in the world. Generations of miners, proven infrastructure, and coal-fired power plants already delivering dependable, around-the-clock electricity. At a time when demand is surging and reliability matters more than ever, coal isn't a question mark, it's a solution. Today, there's robust support in West Virginia and Washington to strengthen American energy independence using the resources we already have. So again, we ask, why not coal? And why not now? Because when it comes to powering our homes, our hospitals, our economy, and new opportunities, West Virginia Coal is ready. A message from the Friends of Coal, powering America today and tomorrow.
You're listening to Talkline on Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
Leading the efforts to build a stronger West Virginia, the High Technology Foundation has a proven plan to strengthen and diversify our state's economy. The I-79 Technology Park's high-capacity infrastructure continues to attract advanced federal operations that are driving economic growth. This keeps our young, educated residents in the state and brings West Virginians home. The High Technology Foundation, building a stronger West Virginia. Learn more today at WVHTF.org.
In 1914, the same year the first commercial flight soared and the Panama Canal opened, Greer Industries was born. Herbert and Agnes Greer began in Morgantown, West Virginia, striking the first pick into the limestone formation that would become the backbone of one of the state's great industrial legacies. From the roads we drive on, the buildings we build, and the communities we serve, Greer Industries has been delivering quality for decades. At Greer Industries, we've been improving lives for more than a century.
We're Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration, and we're gonna save you. We've got it down to a science, an absolute state of art. We do it all, restoration, cleaning, and reconstruction. When disaster strikes, just pick up the phone. We're Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration, and we're gonna save you.
Sunshine, open roads, and a new Toyota from Dan Cava Toyota World. Lease an all-new Camry for as low as $398 a month. All new Tundras now up to $8,000 off. All new Tacomas now up to $4,500 off, or lease as low as $399 a month. $7,500 off the new BZ or 0% financing for 72 months. We've got a Toyota for you at Dan Cava Toyota World in Fairmont. Shop the world.
Let's go to Mike Nolting. He's in the WAJR newsroom. There was a heavy police presence near the CVS in Saberton in Morgantown this morning. Mike was on scene. Mike, good morning. What can you tell us?
Good morning, Dave. What we have here is a developing situation, but what we know at this hour is that at 9:25 this morning, deputies with the Mon County Sheriff's Department responded to the CVS in Saberton on Earl Core Road on a person in the area with an active warrant. Now, while deputies were attempting to identify that suspect, shots were fired. Then at 9:28, just 3 minutes later, deputies confirmed that there was no active threat to the community and a firearm had been secured. That is what we know at this hour. Up at the scene, there's at least 8 to 10 cruisers up there. They have the investigative tent set up over the vehicle where the shooting occurred, and it looks like they'll be there for quite some time.
Mike, is there any search for a suspect?
There is not. I believe that the suspect and the incident all contained within that parking lot. It is completely cordoned off, and the sheriff is telling us at this hour there is no threat to the public.
I would imagine, don't want you to speculate, but I would imagine this report of a person with a warrant in the area came from someone in the public. It wasn't an active duty officer out trying to serve a warrant. Do I interpret that correctly?
I would think that you're correct about that, yes.
Any traffic restrictions? That is a bottleneck area through Saberton. There any traffic restrictions because of the investigation?
You know, there are no traffic restrictions at this hour. The only restrictions are in the CVS parking lot. I don't know if this matters or not, but I would like to just call into the fact here, the location of the rail trail in relation to where this incident happened. The rail trail is probably about a football field away.
Mike Nolting, WAJR News in Morgantown. Mike, we appreciate the update. Let us know if there are any developments throughout the day, okay?
Take care, guys.
Thank you very much. Mike Nolting on scene there in Morgantown. Again, one person involved, no threat to the public, no suspects are being sought at this time. 304-TALK, 304, the text line, 800-765-8255. Let's get a couple of texts in here. Texter says, we're promised by host, guest, callers, and texters that the president would have abolished all elections by now. What gives with that? That was random, given everything we've talked about this morning. 304-TALK, 304. Dave and TJ, there are moderate Democrats. That guy must not have many friends. My wife says we are all pro-life. We all want babies to be born, but women and doctors need to be able to provide care. Unintended consequences may have resulted, choice as illegal, but scared these young girls and chased away the baby doctors, thus the extreme plummeting birth rate, says the texter.
I'd just like to point out, abortion is illegal in West Virginia. I mean, we've done everything we can do.
How about TJ and Helton in a cage match? My money is on TJ, says the texter. Oh, at the White House.
Oh, goodness. No, man. No. The governor's mansion. We're going to keep it West Virginia.
Okay. Oh, well, I just figure they've already got the cage built or being
true.
built.
We could save a little money.
Yeah. Take a little off that national debt.
Okay, if we can stream it on MetroNews television, I'm in.
This is Talkline on Metro News, the voice of West Virginia. It's 11:30. Let's get a news update with the Metro News Radio Network. Find out what's happening all across the great state of West Virginia.
Today's Metro News television forecast is brought to you by Selango Law. Get results, not excuses.
Welcome in. Got you your latest on a Thursday. Meteorologist Joe Hansel here. Let's have some dry and pleasant conditions out the door today. The forecast ahead, watching some warm to hot temperatures, a warming trend, and some rain and thunderstorm potential at some point for the weekend. Yesterday had a high of 80 in Charleston. That's right at average for the time of the year. And 8 below average for the low at 50. Some patchy dense fog is possible. No highlights for dense fog advisories this time, though, today. Generally sunshine with some warmer temperatures in store for a lot of us today. Fly Survey forecast, it starts at home. Tampa near 89 today, 91 tomorrow. Chance for a shower on Saturday near 92. From Panhandle to Panhandle, a little bit warmer today. We have highs low to middle 80s. Got some spots up to 87 potentially with plenty of sunglasses sunshine. And lows in the mid-50s to near 60 tonight. Northern areas, there is a potential risk of some isolated severe thunderstorms later at some point on Saturday, along with some heavy rain. So I'll watch potentially some strong to isolated severe weather. Can't rule out hail damaging winds later Saturday. Out east, we got some 70s to near 90s, so lots of mid to upper 80s for forecasted highs today, a little bit warmer. Mid-50s overnight tonight with some near 60s. From east to west here, highs in the ranks mostly the 70s and lots of 80s in there too. So again, we'll be noticeably warmer today. Low to mid-50s overnight. To the south, highs generally in the ranks of the 80s. Huntington, got you near 87 with your sunshine today. Lows 40s, 50s, and some spots near 60 overnight tonight. In Charleston, high near 87. Lots of sunshine. Sunny to mostly sunny with light winds today. Tomorrow, 89, near 90 on Saturday. Timing late Saturday into Sunday. Showers and storms. Can't rule out some heavy rain, severe weather, and warmer next week, too.
This is Ben Selango with Selango Law. Selango Law has earned a reputation for getting excellent results for our clients. With decades of experience handling thousands of cases, we know what it takes to deliver. Proudly voted Best in the Valley for 3 consecutive years by readers of the Charleston Gazette-Mail, Selango Law is deeply committed to giving back by investing in our community. From supporting local programs to making our region a better place to live, Selango Law is proud to be your trusted legal and community partner. Check us out at selangolaw.com.
The 2026 High School Baseball State Championship. 4 classes, 4 champions, 1 unforgettable day. From first pitch to final out, the 2026 West Virginia High School Baseball State Championship, presented by Toyota. Saturday, June 13th. Watch live on Metro News Television, Facebook, and YouTube. Available on mobile, Roku, Apple TV, Fire TV, LG TV, and select Samsung Smart TVs.
More of your text coming up. 304 Talk 304 800 765 8255. That is the phone number. CityNet is West Virginia's local internet provider. High-speed, reliable fiber internet is probably right at your front door, and now is the perfect time to connect. More rural communities now have access to true high-speed internet. No contract, free installation, free equipment, local customer support you can trust. Fast, reliable fiber internet built for everyday life. When it's high-speed internet you need, citynet.net connects, protects, and perfects. There have been questions raised about a contract that the state auditor's office entered into with a state senator, Jay Taylor from Taylor County. There have been questions raised. State Treasurer Larry Pack has issued a letter asking questions about the contract. The State Democratic Party has put out a release asking questions about that contract and the situation. So joining us on MetroNews Talkline this morning is State Auditor Mark Hunt. He joins us from the Charleston studios to answer some of those questions. Mark, good morning. Thanks for coming in.
Good morning. It's a pleasure being here today.
So we'll give you the floor. We'll ask some questions in a moment, but can you explain the situation that involves Taylor County State Senator Jay Taylor and a contract with your office?
Well, first of all, contracts with state government is nothing new. I think one of the problems that we have with current government is there's not a lot of institutional memory. There's not a lot of people who remember how things have been done and how things are done. These contracts actually save the state a great deal of money. When we hire someone, a contract with someone for a position, we don't pay them any backside benefits. We don't pay them sick annual leave. We don't match their Social Security. We don't give them retirement. We don't give them PIA. They're completely contractors, so they do a job that's really necessary, and they do it for a lot less than we can hire a full-time employee. In my office, we have a couple individuals who have retired, and they actually work on contracts doing the same job that they used to do before retirement.
Is there a difference in this instance? As you know, a legislator that is sitting in the body cannot be a full-time employee. That's in code. Is there a difference between, and I agree, contractors save money. Is there a difference between a contractor that is a sitting legislator in your mind versus someone in your office who is not, for instance?
Well, let me just give you anecdotal. I was elected to the legislature in 1994, long time ago. And I held a state contract as a legislator with workers' comp. It was renewed in 94, 95, and 96. And it was for quite a bit more money than Jay Taylor's $5,000 contract. So, I started with that anecdotal knowledge that this was okay. Then we went from, and don't forget I'm a lawyer too, so we went from that to asking a couple questions. So we asked the ethics opinion to give us an opinion, and they did, and I have the opinion with me, and I also have some other opinions on the same issue where they state that there's absolutely nothing wrong with the state. And one opinion actually refers to a state senator, and the conclusion in the opinion says a state senator may indeed contract with the state auditor's office pursuant to West Virginia Code 65B25D1. These opinions are binding, unlike an attorney general's opinion, which is advisory. This opinion was issued on 4/17 of 25, and then we asked for a specific opinion regarding this contract on October the 9th of 25, same opinion. And I've since called the chief counsel and I asked him about this, and he said, well, Mark, if I ask, it's the same opinion. It's been the opinion since 1995. So then we asked the attorney general for a opinion on the same issue. It's a 2-page opinion. The first page goes on to say that a legislator cannot be a full-time employee, and we had a good idea that that was correct. However, we asked the question because there are teachers who serve in the legislature. There are mayors who serve in the legislature. There are city council people that serve in the legislature. So we wanted to get a framework even on the ability to hire a full-time person. And the answer, according to the Attorney General, at least his opinion he proffered, was no. The second page of his letter has been misread and misunderstood. The first sentence of the letter says that he really can't answer this question without definitive information on the exact issue. So then he goes on to use words like may and maybe. He cites Texas cases. He cites out-of-state cases regarding two issues. One, the Attorney General says a person shouldn't have a contract who is a legislator that looks like employment. Okay. Well, in this contract, Jay didn't get any benefits. He had to pay his own taxes, no PIA, no retirement.
Did he use equipment or workspace from your office? The IRS says that lends to be more an employee than a contractor.
On and off. He came into the office some, and he did some work remotely. And we looked at that also. The IRS is not the definitive. The definitive is the United States Supreme Court, who has a 10-prong test. Jay fails all 10 prongs on that test. I mean, Jay was substitute teaching. When he took this contract, he continues to substitute teach. Jay didn't have any benefits, so we think that there's no way in the world he could be considered an employee. The other thing that the Attorney General mentioned in what we call dicta, because he wasn't able to make a definitive decision based on no facts, the other part of the dicta said he shouldn't have a contract that he voted on. Well, Jay didn't vote to create the Auditor's office in 1870, so we think we're okay there too. So, we're not.
He's not that old.
We're not sure how old he is, but we don't think he voted to create the Auditor's office in 1870. So we think we're okay there too. So in our opinion, and we've gone up and down about this, it's a lot to do about nothing.
What was Senator Taylor contracted to do for your office?
Well, we have the auditor's office is quite a big office. We have 165 employees. Last year, we brought into state government $147 million, up $10 million from the year before. So the auditor has a lot of duties. And one of the duties that the auditor does is what we call our local government services division. We help counties and cities prepare their budgets. They might have a question like, should I put a generator and a line item on my budget for next year? That office only has 3 people, and it's located in Clarksburg. One of the 3 people was one of those individuals who have retired and has come back on a contract. So one of the employees, without a lot of notice, 2 weeks notice, after being there more than 20 years, took a job much closer to her house. She was driving an hour from Clarksburg. So that left us in a real bind. So we were looking for a person that, 1, was available, 2, that was local, and 3, that had the degree experience to handle this task.
Was Mr. Taylor the only person that fit those criteria?
I think he was the only person at the moment because we were in a real bind. Jay has both a MBA and a degree in computer technology engineering, I believe was the cycle. And we offered Jay the contract. We did our due diligence before we gave it to him. He accepted the contract. He worked it out at about $18 an hour, which I almost felt guilty with the guy with an MBA working it out over about $18 an hour. The goal was to see if he wanted to keep the job on a permanent basis or the contract on a permanent basis. But we explained to him, if you want that, you're going to have to leave the Senate. And Jay decided not to leave the Senate. We would have loved to keep him. He was excellent with the mayors. He was excellent with the county officials. And we'd love to have him back. But at this point, as auditor, I have the authority to issue $5,000 contracts. He's had his. So that's all I can do in this case. We still have a hole in that office. We've had to divert one of our auditors to go up there to help fill in the hole in this office, which is the last thing we wanted to do. We're absolutely short-staffed with auditors.
State Auditor Mark Hunt is joining us here on Metro News Talkline. If you had any trepidation that this would violate the state constitution or state code, any trepidation at all? Would you have moved forward with a contract like this?
No, of course not.
Let me ask you this. Legally, we talked about that hurdle. You mentioned your diligence. We talked about the hurdle of compliance with the Ethics Act. A hypothetical for you. Do you believe that the average West Virginian, line 10 West Virginians up, who don't know anything about this, and you give them the facts of what we're talking about, do you believe they would think it's right?
Mostly I would think they wouldn't care, and I think they would also be interested in knowing how much money it saves contract employees, and it does save quite a bit of money because, you know, when you hire an individual, the backside often is more than their wages. So I think that the contracts are in the best interest of West Virginia. I don't know what the public would think, but, you know, that's one of those things. The people elected me auditor of West Virginia. I got 500,000 votes. I shouldn't be questioned on a $5,000 contract. Now, people can question me all they want, and I'll respond.
Was Pack out of line for questioning you?
Larry Pack's a dear friend. And Larry Pack, I won't say anything negative about Larry Pack, but he's absolutely out of his lane. He's asking the state auditor a question as to how we do functions on a day-to-day business. That's like me telling him to invest in T-Mobile instead of Verizon. It's just not done. Now, we plan on answering Mr. Pack, Treasurer Pack's letter, because like any citizen, he's entitled to an answer. And the answer is pretty much just what we told you, that the United States Supreme Court has laid out a 10-prong test. Jay fails all the prongs.
Did you look at you said the Supreme Court trumps the IRS, but did you look at the IRS testing? Would he pass that as well?
I think he would, yes. The IRS testing basically comes down on a lot of things. You know, he didn't have a non-compete. He didn't have, he kept his job as a substitute teacher. I believe he's still doing that, to the best of my knowledge. I haven't had a great deal of conversation with him about that, but I think he passes the IRS test, and I know he passes the court of the law of the lands test, the United States Supreme Court test.
State Auditor Mark Hunt. Mark, do you believe this puts this issue to bed now?
Lord, I hope so. You know, I've been joking with my friends that, you know, the state auditor's office, even though we have our hands in almost every aspect of government, we get very little free press. So I've gotten more free press on this than I have on making $10 million of being the biggest real estate entity in the state. We've gotten a lot of press on it, and as long as they spell my name right, I guess that's okay. And several have, believe it or not, spelled Mark Hunt incorrectly. But regardless, I don't think we've done a thing wrong. I think we've saved the state money. And I'm going to tell it right now, Jay Taylor is a good person. He's qualified for the job. And if he left the Senate, I'd hire him a day in the job.
Are you okay with the fact that all this is out, though? I mean, is that good? The public can see it. I mean, you talk about the upside of it.
Yeah.
So the public could see that.
Yeah.
They could view it as a downside. But at the end of the day, they'll make their decision. And I guess ultimately, to your point, that's a ballot box thing, right?
It sure is. You know, if they don't like me, they can replace me. If they don't like Jay, they can replace Jay. But once again, you can't hire a guy to be your auditor and then question every decision that he makes.
Mark Hunt, State Auditor for the state of West Virginia. Mark, we appreciate you coming by the studios this morning. Thanks so much.
Hey, thank you. Appreciate you.
Absolutely. We'll get to your text next. This is Talkline from the Encova Insurance Studios.
Located in the heart of West Virginia, Bridgeport is the place to play. Endless indoor and outdoor recreation opportunities, including the Bridgeport Complex, coupled with a dynamic food scene, make Bridgeport the perfect getaway destination for couples and families. Explore unique shopping and pick from a wealth of lodging options to find something perfect for your needs. Explore the heart of West Virginia in Bridgeport. Learn more about all there is to do at greater-bridgeport.com.
We are there for you, to care for you at the health plan. We are here for you.
For over 4 decades, we've been rooted deep inside West Virginia. Through thick and thin, supporting local families and businesses. Proudly serving your neighborhood since 1979. Your trusted partner in the community.
with the health plan. We are here for you.
They say you can't take the lottery with you. But now you can play anywhere, anytime with iPlay, the West Virginia Lottery's official app. From Cooper's Rock to the Greenbrier River, from the bleachers to your living room, iPlay goes where you do. Safe, simple, and always West Virginia proud. Play anywhere, anytime. Download iPlay today. iPlay, the fun, secure way to play, wherever life takes you. 18 plus to play. Play responsibly.
You're listening to Talkline on Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
In 1914, the same year the first commercial flight soared and the Panama Canal opened, Greer Industries was born. Herbert and Agnes Greer began in Morgantown, West Virginia, striking the first pick into the limestone formation that would become the backbone of one of the state's great industrial legacies. From the roads we drive on, the buildings we build, and the communities we serve, Greer Industries has been delivering quality for decades. At Greer Industries, we've been improving lives for more than a century.
What does it mean to lead in medicine? J.W. Ruby Memorial Hospital is the top hospital in West Virginia, nationally recognized for 3 programs in 18 procedures and conditions. But to us, leadership means being first in care, in lives saved, in lives restored. In medicine, we lead in the ways that truly matter.
Stay ahead of West Virginia weather with Metro News Television. Now bringing you a new way to stay informed across the Mountain State. Get updates daily at 9, noon, and 4. From headlines and precipitation to severe weather threats and highs and lows. See conditions from panhandle to panhandle and check travel with the Fly CRW forecast. Our meteorologists are on your screens and on Talkline, Midday, Hotline, and Sportsline, keeping you up to date. Metro News Television weather. Accurate, local, and always on.
The best selection of WVU apparel is at Daniel's Men's Store. Exclusive designs you won't find anywhere else. Stylish, sophisticated, and unmistakably Mountaineer. Shop in store or online at danielsofmorgantown.com.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong.
Metro News Talkline is presented by Encova Insurance, encircling you with coverage to protect what you care about most. Visit Encova.com to learn more.
We'll get a couple of texts here, 304 Talk 304. But TJ, it's a big day down in Charleston at our flagship at the in the state capitol there, 580 WCHS. What's going on today?
Well, Rob Reel is here from Superstar Country 96.1 KWS. Rob, what's up?
It is the Drop Your Snacks drive-through powered by the Charleston Dirty Birds. We're out with Union Mission here at 1111 Virginia Street East. Folks loop through our parking lot. They don't have to get out of their nice, comfortable, air-conditioned vehicle to donate non-perishable foods, shelf-stable foods to feed hungry West Virginia kids. It's summertime, and 2/3 of West Virginia students are on free or reduced cost meals at their schools. And with schools out, we're trying to fill that gap as best we can with everything from, chips and jerky to ramen and soup to Pop-Tarts. You name it, if it's non-perishable, we can take it. And, of course, cash and check donations for Union Mission, which is a statewide 55-county organization supporting programs like this all around the state.
They support all around. And maybe a listener today in Morgantown or in Wheeling likes what you're doing and they want to participate. How would they go about doing it?
Easiest way to do that, if you can't get to us physically, go to wefeedpeople.com. That is the Union Mission website. You'll see the Donate Now. Click on that. And there's even a drop down that lets you earmark how your money is allocated. Safe and secure credit or debit card donation. And you can be right in there with us to drop your snacks.
21st century donations now, Rob. Way to go.
We've come a long, long way from just handing over the folding money. And I end up saying this a lot with our drop events because we do several a year, and we try to make the process always the same so that all folks have to think about is the MacGuffin, the thing we're after that day. But at the end of those days, money goes the farthest. Green will always be the right color and it will always be the right size because Union Mission can harness that bulk buying power and turn $1 into 2 or 3 or 5 the way that other folks have been able to do with us. We had some fun on the local show with Dave Allen earlier today and with Tony the Tailor, getting some folks involved. Money will always go the farthest, but I also acknowledge that there's a certain segment of the population that physically needs to have a thing in their hands to put in my hands to make it be real for them. So whatever works for you, whether it's WeFeedPeople.com, cash or check donation to Union Mission, or bring us something physical at 1111 Virginia Street East, you can, all of those ways, you can drop your snacks.
How long are you going to be out there?
We will be out until 6 o'clock this evening, and per tradition, I'm always the last man standing on the parking lot, so even if somebody shows up a little bit late, we can make that work.
All right, Rob, appreciate the update, and see if you can get an honest day's work out of Dave Allen today, would you?
Well, it would be a first, wouldn't it?
Yes, it would. It'd be a banner day. Rob, appreciate it, man. Thanks.
Thank you.
Back in a moment to wrap up the show. We'll get a couple of texts in as well. A reminder, the weather is perfect right now. Perfect to get on the lakes and waters, so get ready and get out on the lakes by getting a great deal on pontoon and fishing boats at Lou Wendell Marine Sales. Check out the entire inventory, LouWendellMarineSales.com. Lou Wendell Marine Sales, we sell family fun. Back in a moment.
The WVU Medicine Transplant Alliance exists because of one extraordinary act, the gift of an organ. Each heart and kidney transplant represents a donor's legacy, a gift powerful enough to turn imminent loss into renewed life. Our dedicated transplant team honors that gift with expert, compassionate care before, during, and long after the transplant. Learn more about organ donation and the life it creates at registerme.org/WVU Medicine.
In West Virginia, community is everything. It's about showing up for each other. Vin Salengo and the team at Salengo Law don't just work here, they live here, proudly sponsoring local events and giving back to the neighborhoods they love. So when you're facing a serious injury, trust the local team that's always in your corner. They spent over 25 years fighting for West Virginia families. Salengo Law. Get results, not excuses. Visit us at salengolaw.com.
Hey, this is Brad Howe for your local internet provider, CityNet. For years, rural communities in West Virginia waited for reliable, high-speed internet. Now, fiber is most likely at your front door. Public investment helped build the opportunity, and CityNet delivered the service to homes and businesses just like yours. With free equipment, free installation, no contract, and local support you can count on, switching to fiber has never been easier. Fast downloads, smooth streaming, better connections for work, school, and everyday life. When it's high-speed internet you need, CityNet.net connects, protects, and perfects.
You're listening to Talkline on Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
I'm Sean Kovich, Mountaineer golf coach. When disaster strikes your home, business, or golf game, call the restoration company the Mountaineers call. Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration.
What does it mean to lead in medicine? J.W. Ruby Memorial Hospital is the top hospital in West Virginia. Nationally recognized for 3 programs and 18 procedures and conditions. But to us, leadership means being first in care, in lives saved, in lives restored. In medicine, we lead in the ways that truly matter.
Leading the efforts to build a stronger West Virginia, the High Technology Foundation has a proven plan to strengthen and diversify our state's economy. The I-79 Technology Park's high-capacity infrastructure continues to attract advanced federal operations that are driving economic growth. This keeps our young, educated residents in the state and brings West Virginians home. The High Technology Foundation, building a stronger West Virginia. Learn more today at WVHTF.org.
Longer days, warmer drives, and better deals at Dan Cava GMC. Hit the road in one of our new luxury GMC Acadias. Take your pick from our massive selection. Now up to $5,500 off select new Acadias and 3.9% for 60 months. The great deals continue with our large selection of quality pre-owned vehicles. All this and more at Dan Cava GMC in Bridgeport. Shop the world.
Jackpots are growing in West Virginia. Jackpots are on the rise every week. Powerball hits Mondays, Wednesdays, and Saturdays. Mega Millions lights up Tuesdays and Fridays. That's 5 chances a week to get in on life-changing jackpots. Play in-store and online. 18 plus to play. Please play responsibly. The Powerball jackpot is $212 million. Mega Millions jackpot's $368 million. So go ahead, play today. Lightning round of text here very quickly. The attack on TJ is a classic example of the reason why I am sick of the state Republican Party. TJ, this conservative independent, says keep up the good work. I'm voting Democrat. I'm an independent. My goodness, this guy, referring to Brian Helton, I believe, is living in la-la land. He is sure arrogant. 304 Talk 304. Helton thinks he's going to get away with that interview, but we are listening loud and clear. He says he didn't have a dog in the Supreme Court fight, but that makes no sense because all conservatives suffer from those court races results. Not a very wise response on his part. Suggests he get to work fixing the state that's still in despair. Wow, says the texter. Senator Helton, unreal. Please keep your commentary just as it is. You call it like it is, says the texter. I did have an idea during a couple of breaks ago, TJ.
Sir?
In lieu of, the cage at the White House being available, remember MTV's Celebrity Deathmatch?
Claymation.
Just saying, TJ. AI's doing amazing things. This is Talkline on Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.